I'm going to go ahead and just do a live stream today, talk about a couple topics I want to talk about, do a little Q&A, talk to you guys. Like I said, I haven't done stream in a while, and we'll go from there. Hello to everybody who is here. Wow, 50 people. I'm actually kind of surprised I have that many people. This is, like I said, this is not planned. I'm just kind of doing it because I suspect later I'm not going to have electricity. It's probably going to go out. Oh, I know. Yeah, Deanie. Hey, what's up, Deanie? Haven't seen you in a while. Hey, guys, before we get started and I get into all this stuff, I do have to do a quick ad. It's for a company that I really, really like, this Patriot Switch. And I like it because you guys know what I talk about on this channel. Why give your money to companies that hate you? We talk about the companies that sponsor these segments that I talk about every day on the channel. And this is a potential solution to that problem. And so that's why I'm really happy that I'm doing these guys, that these guys are sponsoring this channel. And I'm very happy to play their ad. So I'm going to go ahead and play this ad, and we'll get started after that. Thanks, guys. We all know how the big box stores were allowed to stay open through all of this, while the little guys, small business owners, regular people were forced to stay closed. The wealthiest people in human history got wealthier, while mom and pop suffered. The question is, what are we willing to do about it? How can our voices be heard? We vote with our money. That's how we make a difference. No more shopping at big box stores with products that are stuck on cargo ships. PatriotSwitch.com helps patriots get away from the big box stores forever. What if a whole bunch of us just banded together and walked away? We can shop factory direct at a family-owned, patriot-owned, made-in-America manufacturer. That's exactly why Patriot Switch was created, with regular people like you and me in mind. We can finally stop shopping at these big box stores and take market share away from these companies that don't share our values, and transfer those dollars to family-owned companies for the future of our country. PatriotSwitch.com. Check it out. All right, so yeah, that's PatriotSwitch.com. Highly recommend you guys check them out. They are just getting started, but like I said, this may be a really good way that we don't have to spend our, because I don't know if you all noticed, but you know, it's like every company is sponsoring these segments on CNN and MSNBC. These segments on MSNBC where they say white Christians are a public health threat. You know, sponsored by Dove. So, sponsored by Kroger. So it's getting harder and harder to find places to spend our money. So this is a potential solution, and the banner will be up there the whole time. So yes, as you probably heard or are now hearing, Jeff Zucker over at CNN has resigned. It's already done, and it's effective immediately. And as this Yahoo.com article points out, as a part of an investigation into Chris Cuomo's tenure at CNN, I was asked about a consensual relationship with my closest colleague, someone I have worked with for more than 20 years. I acknowledge the relationship evolved in recent years, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so there, in the course of this, all these rape and sexual harassment, assault allegations over at CNN, there are many. Apparently, Zucker was having a relationship, an improper relationship, and never disclosed it. So nothing too spicy. You know, he had a relationship and he didn't talk about it. Hey, I'll take it. I'll take it as long as we get rid of this slime ball. I mean, this guy is the sweatiest scumbag, one of the sweatiest scumbags in media. So I'm happy to see him gone, and Chris Cuomo, and the dominoes are just falling over there. Pretty soon it's just going to be Tater over there doing it, because Don Lemon's even got accusations against him, I believe. And, you know, who knows when that ball's going to drop. You know, Zucker's getting out of there. Now, I have heard, and I don't remember, I'll look it up here in a second, but I think somebody else has taken over at CNN. I think this was already known, and I can't remember off the top of my head who it was. I will look it up. But this person did an interview not long ago and promised that CNN was going to get back to the news. So who knows? Maybe we're seeing that. I seriously doubt it, but perhaps. Yeah. It could be very soon that Lemon is gone as well. He may just bow out. They already lost his show. He's just been like lingering around the CNN sets like a ghost, showing up on these random shows to say his usual stupid crap, you know. and accuse everybody of doing exactly what he does every day and exactly what he is guilty of. Oh, I know. You got Tubin over at CNN who was, you know, he was wanking it on a Zoom meeting, and they brought him back. Like, it's just this. It's what you should expect, because these people, they don't have to usually abide by any standards, and they just assume that they're going to be protected, you know? And usually they are, but it's like, it gets to be so bad that they can't ignore it anymore. So yeah, not a lot to talk about there. So Zucker's gone, big deal. Like somebody else mentioned in the chat earlier, we're probably going to get an even bigger Marxist. And like I said, I do remember somebody... new owners, CNN or something like that. Yeah, 21. Discovery CEO David Slosov. Now he promised. Let me just look on YouTube here. Let's see. CNN returning to news. Let me look on Twitter. That's probably where I'm going to find it. Yeah, folks, this is not a polished show if you were expecting that. I don't usually live stream. I just want to talk to you guys. I don't often get to talk to the viewers. And I also didn't have a chance to come on and thank everybody for finally hitting 100,000 subscribers. And I wanted to do that as well, and I'll get to that. A few things I want to do. Invite you guys to some new things we're doing on Discord. Oh, by the way, if you do want to participate in this live stream, come on and chat with me. Come into my Discord. You can find the link in the description there. Come on in and come into the call waiting room, and you guys can come on and talk. We'll talk about some different subjects. But yeah, let's see here. Back to... Okay, here we go. This is what I was talking about. So there's a new owner over at CNN, and back, let's see here, November of 2021, he already came out and said that he vows to be very hands-on, and he plans to bring back news. He wants to bring back CNN to an actual news channel, which is so funny because it's just funny watching him now and watching, you know, Tater get up there and talk like, "Oh, we're a news channel. Why don't people believe us? Why do people believe Joe Rogan and not us over here at CNN, the real news people at the newsroom? Come on, even your new owner knows you're not news, and he admits it in this interview." Trying to find that in the actual interview here. Anyway, yeah, he so this guy is apparently going to bring back CNN, but I seriously doubt it. So anyway, moving on from that, because there's not a lot to talk about there. Let me read the chat real quick, see if anybody got any interesting comments in this on this topic here. Ryan, make DM a mod. Make DM. Who's DM? Oh, DM. Why? Well, come to Discord. I have to talk to you before I make you a mod. If you want to be a mod, you're interested in that, come to Discord. Let me put a link in here for you guys. This is a Discord live stream chat, so if you'd like to come chat. All right, so I did want to play this real quick on the CNN topic. Brian Stelter here.
To this memo,
and I just want to talk a little bit about
this memo. According to the memo here, it was a consensual relationship that evolved in recent years, and that he did not disclose it, and thus that's why he's resigning. I've just received, Kate, while we're speaking here, a statement from Alison Gullist as well. As I said, Gullist, the top marketing executive for CNN, she's remaining with the company, and here's what she says, quote, "Jeff and I have been close friends and professional partners for over 20 years. Recently, our relationship changed during COVID. I regret that we didn't disclose it at the right time." Gullist going on to say, "I'm incredibly proud of my time at CNN and look forward to continuing the great work we do every day." To this memo, according to the memo here, it was a consensual relationship.
Okay, so I thought I had another clip here where he's talking about how great Zucker was for CNN, and you're seeing a lot of that all over from different journalism, so-called journalists on Twitter, and they're talking about, oh, Zucker, he was such a professional partner for over 20 years. Look at how far CNN fell during Jeff Zucker's tenure there. I mean, CNN, when I was young, when I in the a kid in the 90s, my introduction to the media and to CNN was Desert Storm. I was, I think, 11 years old, and I got hooked on watching the war unfold on CNN. I remember I would go to the store with my mom, and I would find the TV, you know, if it was like a department store, find the TV section, I'd go there and I'd watch the CNN coverage of Desert Storm, which is funny because everybody else would be there watching it too. And, you know, it was still sort of a news organization back then. But now, I mean, 20 years of his tenure there, I didn't realize it'd been that long. I mean, it's become, you know, Jerry Springer, essentially. It's a network where they advocate for one party openly, and then they rationalize. It's so funny how they move from claiming they're not Democrat Party mouthpieces to, oh, it's going to be hard for us to be objective when Trump is just so bad, to, oh, now we have to advocate for the Democrat Party openly, but we're not. It's not because we're biased for Democrats. It's because unless Democrats aren't in power, democracy is over. You know, and it's just getting increasingly insane. Just the idea that you're going to save democracy by enforcing one party rule and essentially outlawing their opposition. Yeah, sounds like democracy to me. And it's just funny to me how, you know, Joe Rogan is such a hot topic. He's such a target over at CNN and MSNBC, all the news channels, for supposedly being dangerous for spreading misinformation. Well, and I brought this up before. Not only do you have, you know, CNN out there saying one thing and then doing another behind the scenes. Obviously, they got a real problem with with sexual assault and harassment over there. For one, it seems to be in the culture there. Beyond that, you know, I talked about in my last video all these riots that we had back in 2020, and still to this day. I mean, a lot of them are based on conspiracy theories, manipulation of data, cherry-picked stories, omission of inconvenient truths that the media then puts out this sort of narrative, and then that leads to riots where if they, and that to me is dangerous misinformation. You know, why is that not the issue? Why are we so worried about Joe Rogan's podcast when these people literally are getting people killed, destroying businesses, destroying communities by withholding information? Jacob Blake's a great example. Guy was sexually assaulting somebody, had a warrant out for his arrest. The person who accused him of sexual assault called the police. They showed up. The guy put their kids in the car, was trying to leave with them, had a knife, fought the police, then finally got shot, okay? The media didn't talk about any of that, and yet we got riots. And then we got Kyle Rittenhouse because of that. Think about that. So Kyle Rittenhouse had to defend himself against rioters because of the misinformation from the media, and then what did they do? They spread misinformation about Kyle Rittenhouse. It just, it's hard for me to main chat at Discord. Hey, guys, all right. Excuse me. Yeah, that's one thing that really, like, when you talk about gaslighting, to me, that is gaslighting. That, because it literally has, I don't know about all of you guys, but it stresses me the hell out, all right? It stresses me out because I don't know how many people are actually falling for it. And it worries me. It's like, if people are actually falling for this, we're in real trouble. CNN is finished, John Smith says. Thank God. I don't know, man. This is a bit. How many people here are familiar with Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball in general, or really anime in general? All right. Every time you think the bad guy has been defeated, he's never defeated. It's that sort of like, oh, CNN's finished, we're done. You can guarantee when people start saying that it's not. It's gonna rise up out of the rubble, like power up and come back at you again. So CNN's not gone. They're gonna continue to be a problem, unfortunately. So let's move on from CNN. I'd like to move on to Whoopie here because I got a lot to say about Whoopie cushion. Oh, Donna Maria. Okay, yeah, I knew you had been here. Cool. Yeah, I'll talk to you about that in a minute. I will probably make you a mod. I do need more mods. But yeah, guys, hit that like button. Go to patriotswitch.com. Do all those things. Go to preparewithdronetek.com. Yes, we got some Dragon Ball fans. Nice. All right, so let's talk about Whoopie. So we got Whoopie here. And let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of Zucker. I'm done talking about that for right now. All right, so before we talk about Whoopie, guys, okay, I will make her a mod, okay? I will do that. She has been here a long time. But can I do that from here? Can you do that? Can you add a mod, Modus? I'll take care of that here in a minute. So we should probably watch the actual clip that led to all this first. So let's do that, and then we will move on from there. Let's go.
Well, also, if you're going to do this, then let's be truthful about it, because the Holocaust isn't about race. No, it's not about race.
No, it's about
a different race. But it's not about race. It's not about race.
What is it about?
Because it's about man's inhumanity to man.
Right. She's right.
That's what it's about.
But it's about white supremacy.
Hold on. I'm so torn on this because she's right. It is about. It's so crazy. It's like, this is what I've been saying. This is what a lot of us have been saying for decades now. Like, they talk so much about slavery and racism. It's so funny, racism and slavery and all the it's treated as though it's the only bad thing that ever happened in history, and it's just white people, and it's just America, and it's just black people in America. And it's like, no, it's like history is actually filled with man's inhumanity to man. Racism is man's inhumanity to man. They try to say, oh, it's a white thing. You can't be racist to white people because they're the one. White people are a minority on Earth, okay? Asians are the majority. We are a minority on this planet, okay? And there's no grand, like, white conspiracy to control the world. And that's another funny thing, is you hear a lot of this crap from The View. They claim, all these people on the left claim to be so adamant about learning about the Holocaust, right? And we should learn about the Holocaust and slavery and all these things. So don't count me in as a person that doesn't want to learn history. I'm obviously on board with that. I love history. But I don't know if these people actually learned anything from the Holocaust. I just get the feeling sometimes that it's like they just pretend to care about it and to know anything about it. And it's just like this sort of status thing that you just say it and that means you're a good person. But like, what do these people normally do? Especially these two on the screen right now, Sunny Hostin and Behar. Hostin called, and I just mentioned this earlier, she called white Christians a public health threat. That should be shunned from society, is what she said. Oh yeah, sounds like somebody who really learned a lot about the Holocaust. So actually, keep that in mind that she said that, but when we're watching the rest of this, I'll continue because I don't want to get ahead of myself.
Well, but it's not about
ideal race.
But these are two white groups of people.
Well, how do we have to black
people see them as white?
But you're missing the point. You're missing the point. The minute you turn it into race, it goes down this alley. Let's talk about it for what it is. It's how people treat each other. It's a problem. It doesn't matter if you're black or white, because black, white, Jews, everybody eats each other. So is it?
Why does she see that in this case, but not everything else?
Should you be worried? Should your child say, oh my God, I wonder if that's me? No, that's not what they're going to say. They're going to say, I don't want to be like that.
Well, hopefully. I don't want to be cruel.
I kind of lost her point there at the end. I don't know about you guys.
Kids, they don't want to be cruel.
No, they don't. And we're living in an era where people are comparing vaccine cards to the yellow stars, where people are comparing vaccinations to what Anne Frank went through. Yeah.
Guys, they're not comparing the actual thing to that. They're saying that is along the same lines and going down that road. It's just like I was saying earlier, like about Sunny Hostin saying that. Like, I would never think to call a group of people a public health threat and say that they should be shunned from society. Like, the only people, I can't imagine saying that about any group of people. I mean, even like neo-Nazis and shit. Like, I think those guys are fucking idiots, are complete idiots. And I would never associate with them. And I would never even, like, it'd be hard for me to even debate with them because it's just such an off the charts, like, stupid position to have. But I would never say shun them from society. Like, I'm kind of like, to make another Dragon Ball reference here, I'm kind of like Gohan, right? Like Gohan in Dragon Ball Z where he's fighting Cell and he doesn't want to kill Cell. Like, he doesn't like fighting and he doesn't want to kill him. But he ends up having to, but like, he doesn't want to. That's like me. Like, I don't like fighting. I don't want to hate anybody. These people hate, like they really do. They spend so much time accusing everybody. They're projecting. They're so guilty of that, projecting. So, okay, so anyway, so she said that. Some people piled on her, and she's now suspended for 2 weeks. Big deal. Okay, big freaking deal. And on top of that, the View crew, and I need to find the article here, but they're all upset about it. Hold on, The View upset Whoopie. Crap. Okay, here we go. They're furious. They're furious about her suspension. Give me a break. Are you kidding me? Okay, so let me tell you why this, first of all, is complete. I mean, it's just total theater. 2 weeks, big deal. It's a vacation. She gets 2 weeks vacation. While she's gone, the media and all these people will be out there reforming her, you know, saying, "Oh, she's done nothing but good. She's a good person." Like, and I've already seen lots of that. I've already been in some arguments with people along those lines. Here's the thing. What she said, actually, not all of it. Like, what she's saying there about man's inhumanity to man and all that, it's fine. But then, like, they actually tell her, like, actual quotes from the Nazis, which I actually don't even want to read here because I'm scared to do such a thing on YouTube. But they read her the tweet. They read her these actual quotes, and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to." She just kind of dismissed them. Jinko jeans. Sorry, I used to wear Jinko jeans too. Whoopi and Joy did the fusion dance. That's great. Oh my God, that'd be horrible. But the thing here is that, so she got a 2 week suspension. Who cares? And they're gonna reform her. No big deal. And they're out there already acting like there's something wrong with suspending her for 2 weeks, because look, in intersectionality, she's a black woman. She's like among the most oppressed group in intersectionality. She may even be the most oppressed. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure black women may be at the bottom of that list. So, or the top of the oppression list, I should say. And so they cannot be racist. So for her to say these things, and the minds of most left-wingers, most Democrat types, is that she didn't do anything wrong. I mean, she may have misspoke, but, you know, no big deal. It's not like she's a straight white male, you know, say that. If you're a straight white male and you say that, you're going to be excised from the earth. You're going to be gone. But look at what they're saying here. And this is what I find just off the charts. People are really upset, and I don't understand why. It took 2 days. This is another thing that I wanted to talk about. I'm not super up to speed on this, but apparently, Whoopi converted to Judaism supposedly and changed her name to Goldberg, but she's not actually like Jewish. She doesn't actually practice or something. I don't really know. I just read that and thought that was, like, when you think about cultural appropriation. That's pretty hardcore cultural appropriation. Apparently she did this right before she started acting. Like, so right as she went into Hollywood, she became Jewish, because that's the trope, right? If you want to make it in Hollywood. I don't really know. I assume there's some conspiracy there with Hollywood that maybe Whoopi bought into and thought that would give her best chances. I don't know. But it wouldn't surprise me. So what the absurdity of people getting upset about Whoopi Goldberg getting suspended for 2 weeks. For one, it's a completely hollow gesture. Who cares? Nobody cares. She got a 2 week vacation. She'll be back. It will be forgotten. It'll go down the memory hole. But what is it that Whoopi and her cadre of clucking hens do on a daily basis? What have they done the last few days? They've gone after Bill Maher for daring to say that, you know, cloth masks are useless, which the CDC came out and said that they're useless. Or not useless. They didn't say that. They said that, you know, they're very ineffective, and they do a lot of couching where they're like, compared to, you know, N95 and things like that. It's like, well, it's like they're trying to pull punches a little bit there for damage control. But they went after Bill Maher, saying that he was spreading dangerous misinformation, which he wasn't. You know, calling for him to be canceled. And before that, it's Joe Rogan. Oh, Joe Rogan's spreading dangerous misinformation. He needs to be censored. And then Whoopi actually comes out and says, like, something really, some of what she said there was right. And I agree with her. The man's inhumanity, man. It just drives me nuts that they don't apply that logic to everything. Why wouldn't they? But I think she was just trying to save herself at that point. But she actually said something that would get most people, you know, excised from society. So, you know, it's kind of outrageous. Like, if you read some tweets here. Oh, so here we go. So part of her reformation here is that she went on the show with David or Jonathan Greenblatt, who is the head of the ADL, I think. Pretty sure. He is the CEO of the Anti-Defamation League, who fight racism and anti-Semitism. Can't talk. And I want to say something about that real quick here, but let's just look at this real quick. This is how, this is like intersectionality. This is like CRT and Marxism at work right here.
Why the Holocaust was about race?
Well, Whoopi, there's no question that the Holocaust was about race. That's how the Nazis saw it as they perpetrated the systematic annihilation of the Jewish people across continents, across countries, with deliberate and ruthless cruelty. And literally, the first page of Maus, the book you were talking about yesterday, Whoopi, it opens with a quote from Hitler. And literally it says, "The Jews undoubtedly are a race, but they are not human." You see, Hitler's ideology, the Third Reich, was predicated on the idea that the Aryans, the Germans, were a, quote, master race, and the Jews were a subhuman race. Color felt they were not people to real. Nazis implemented, they have been slaughtered in large part because many people felt they were not just a different religion, but indeed a different race. And your platform, Whoopi, is so important, using it now to educate people to realize that anti-Semitism remains a clear and present danger.
Yes.
I mean, it's a real issue and we've got to confront it. And the racism at the core, I mean, keep this in mind, that the Nazis implemented their Nuremberg laws, right, which dehumanized the Jewish people. My grandfather, my ancestors lived with this in Germany, dehumanized the Jewish people.
Check this out.
Nazis implemented their Nuremberg laws, right, which dehumanized the Jewish people.
Okay, so this is what I'm talking about when I say that it seems like a lot of these folks haven't actually learned anything. And they seem to be just doing exactly what the Nazis did. I mean, this guy in particular, Jonathan Greenblatt, what did he do recently? Well, I'll show you here. ADL. So the ADL just redefined racism. And I'm going to give you one guess as to how they redefined it. We'll go ahead and just read it here. Racism. Racism occurs when individuals or institutions show more favorable evaluation or treatment of an individual or group based on race or ethnicity. Which is a weird definition. I mean, that's not the definition of racism. Definition of racism is prejudice, discrimination, antagonism directed against a person or people on the basis of their membership to a particular racial or ethnic group, typically one that's a minority or marginalized. Typically, it says, but as we know, all these things are pretty mainstream against whites in this country now. I mean, and I'm not saying that like, I'm not a white supremacist or a white nationalist or any of that, any of that stuff. I don't care about race. I'm like forced to talk about this stuff, unfortunately, because the people that are pushing it are such brazen hypocrites. But, antagonism directed against a person or people, and I don't know if that's not the, second. I don't know if that's the page I'm looking for. Oh, here we go. Barry Weiss has got it, I'm sure. All right, here we go. So, okay, so here's what they changed it to. Maybe they changed it back because I was just on, maybe that was a different page, but so they redefine it to the marginalization and or oppression of people of color based on a socially constructed racial hierarchy that privileges white people. Okay. So first thing that jumps out at me about this just dumb definition, which just completely different from what the dictionary definition is, which is also here. You're going to see here why they redefined it. The belief that different races possess distinct characteristics, abilities, qualities, especially so as to distinguish them as inferior or superior to one another. So now read this. The marginalization and or oppression of people of color. So the term people of color in and of itself, separates basically all of humanity from white people. So you got whites and then people of color. Now, that's how it is. Based on a socially constructed racial hierarchy, that's a conspiracy theory, that privileges white people. Okay, so, I mean, that's like a straight up anti-Semitic trope conspiracy theory, but just applied to white people. And they've now redefined racism in order to allow for a racial hierarchy in the system that discriminates against white people, because you can do that. And their version of a system, you could be racist. You could use the government to discriminate against white people, and it's not racist because that's not what the definition of racism is anymore. It's very nefarious. I mean, it should worry people. See, this is what they used to have, which is pretty much, this is the definition. Right. So their old one was correct. That was more along the lines of the dictionary. But yeah, the new one is just straight up Marxism. It's straight up CRT. And this is the guy, okay? This is the guy that we just got done listening to. Did I lose that page? Crap. One second, guys. I'm gonna see if I can get back to that. Oh man, I lost it. Anyway, yeah, that was the head of the ADL basically giving a sermon to Whoopi Goldberg and, pardoning her of her sins. And then basically explaining how, oh, well, my people, we were dehumanized and separated from society. While the very same guy is now doing that to white people. Like, white people. And that's the kind of the feeling I got from that whole exchange between them was it's us. We got to stay a tight team. It's us against them. So nobody has come to Discord to chat with me. What's up with that, guys and girls? Why don't you guys come chat with me? Donna Marie. Yeah. The ADL. That's just their definition, you see. So they're not. So this is what you're probably not going to see much. You're not going to see any worry from the ADL or any of these people about racism against white people. You never do, even though it happens, but they just don't talk about it because you know what talking about it would do? Well, if you talked about racism against white people, well, there might be, you know how white people are, there would be a backlash against people of color if that happened. If we went out and said, oh, well, there's an issue with white people being attacked by people of color. I mean, can you even imagine that ever happening? Of course not. It would never happen. Yeah, I know you guys like chatting here, but so yeah. Let's see what we got. The ADL is liberal garbage. It is. It is. I mean, think about it. Are white people lacking color? No, white is a color. And we're not even white. It's not like we're white. Like, when I look at my skin, and they like to say we're pink. Like, I'm not pink. I'm just like a very, very light brown, just very, not white. Like, not even during the winter. Like, it's winter right now, middle of winter. I'm not white. I think that we should start making more of an issue of that. Because, I mean, look at it. You got a system now where they're talking about racial equity, how we need racial equity. Well, what is racial equity? It's using the government to enforce outcomes. And in that case, it would be based on race. So you need to redefine things like this and start to get the idea that you can't be racist to white people so that you can get racial equity. Because the only did you guys see here? Let me find this real quick. Ted Cruz questioned somebody. Let me see here. Maybe I retweeted it. One second here. This goes right to what I'm talking about, actually. Oh yeah, here we go. So these people, it's pretty clear they want to be able to racially discriminate against whites. I mean, you got Ibrahim X. Kendi, who is widely revered by these people, even though he's plainly a complete idiot. I mean, he's obviously a complete idiot, but and a snake oil huckster. But there's so many of them like him, and they get promoted. I don't get it. Like, it's almost as if the KKK is in power and they are the ones promoting these guys. Like, that's the only explanation I can come up with. But essentially, he says the only way to fix current racism, or I'm sorry, past discrimination, is with current discrimination. And you can't fix current discrimination without future discrimination, or some dumb. And the same thing with racism. You can't fix past racism without current racism, or whatever. And that's what they want to do. It's so clear that that's what they want, and that's why you're seeing just this nonstop barrage for most of my life. Because eventually, they literally just want to create a system where we are the third-class citizens. And it sounds crazy and evil, but that's apparently what they want to do. And that's why when Ted Cruz asks Biden's nominee to be judge to the Central District of California, if racial discrimination is wrong, it should be easy, right? Is racial discrimination wrong, chat? Go ahead and just let me know in chat if you think racial discrimination is wrong. Is this a hard question? It's only hard, I would think, if you don't want to answer it, because if you answer that racial discrimination is wrong, later when you're a judge and you're ruling against racial discrimination cases from white people that are clearly that, when you're ruling against it, you can be like, well, I never did say that I believed racial discrimination was wrong, but this isn't racial discrimination because it's white people. You see how this is going to work? Listen.
Judge Cotto, I want to start with you. Is racial discrimination wrong?
Senator, our Constitution prohibits race discrimination on the basis of race.
Okay, let me ask again, is racial discrimination wrong?
Why is her hair covering half her face? Like, she's some sort of like evil mastermind, and there's like a cyborg half face behind that hair. I don't know. It's weird.
Senator, as a judge, I don't deal with issues of morality or whether something...
So you have no views on whether it's right or wrong?
Senator, because that is an issue that is frequently litigated before the courts, pursuant to Canon 3 of the Code of Conduct...
Okay, so why does the Constitution prohibit racial discrimination?
Senator, I think it's part of our Constitution and this nation's history of aiming for equal justice.
Yeah, there you go. Aiming for equal justice. So if you're aiming for equal justice and you're racially discriminating against white people in order to achieve that in some kind of warped, completely warped sense that you're fixing racial discrimination by creating a new class of people that it's okay to racially discriminate. Sure. You cannot tell me that's not exactly what she's thinking right now.
Treating people, regardless of any protected class status, equally and fairly.
Protected class status. Do white people have protected class status? Are whites a protected class? I think in the workplace they are considered everyone's protected race. Okay, well, it's everything I'm saying is like everybody's a protected class, but why would you say that? That's not what she. Okay, well, from what I'm reading, actually, white people are considered protected class, but I've never seen it apply. I've never heard it applied to white people. It's always applied to minority people. I mean, they keep telling us how white people are going to be a minority soon, right? How gleeful they are about that. Oh. I do have somebody to join me. What's up, man? But yeah, they're always telling us that whites are going to be...
just realized we need absolutely nothing.
So discriminating based on race
I'm playing a video again.
Violates, I think you just said, our Constitution's history of aiming for justice. Is that a fair characterization?
Senator, our case law, if you're talking about race discrimination under the law, yes, pursuant to Supreme Court precedent, race discrimination under the law is prohibited.
So you and I are both.
All right, so as you saw, she wouldn't just say that racial discrimination is wrong, and there's a reason for that. Illuma, what do you think about that? He's in chat with me right now, guys, in Discord. I welcome anybody to come join us. What do you think about that? Like when Ted Cruz asks her about that, like why would she not answer that question?
Well, I mean, it's obvious that she's just trying to dance around it as much as possible so she doesn't have a hard point to be held on or a standard to be held up against.
Right. But it's when you think about what that would be, I mean, that's concerning, I would think, yeah?
Yes, and I'd like to point out one slightly amusing thing here. Her initials.
What are her initials? I don't have it. I've lost it.
That's all I'm going to say, her initials.
I lost the video. Something happened there and I lost it. I didn't see it. What were the initials? I didn't see it. I lost the video.
Well, her first, middle, and last name all started with a K.
Are you serious?
I am dead serious.
How did I miss that? Hold on. Kaya Kato. And what's her last name? Hold
on. Prohibits.
Check that out, guys. Look at that. Look at the 3 letters. Look at her initials. What did I just say? I just got done saying, like, it's almost like these people are like the actual KKK and they're doing this stuff to hurt the minorities that they're pretending to help.
I swear her existence is just subliminal messaging.
That's so weird. Like, what are the odds of that? What are the odds that your initials are KKK?
Also, could you do me a favor and stream your screen in Discord so I don't have a 10-second delay on everything?
Well, I'm not streaming it. Like, I don't have it on, running.
Well, I mean, like, sharing your screen kind of thing. But
I'm not, like, I don't have the actual stream on, so you wouldn't see it. I have, like, my,
Alright.
Yeah. I'll just push this every time I talk so you can hear me.
Okay.
I need to do a better job. Like I said, this is not very planned for me. I'm amazed I have as many viewers as I do. Hey, guys.
Yeah, that's impressive. 90.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Yeah, what is it with Biden's nominees in general? Like, they all seem to be just these extremist, like, just fringe people. Like, is the Bureau of Land Management, isn't she, which is an interesting acronym, right? BLM, again. Isn't she's a freaking, she's an eco-terrorist. She helped spike trees. They put metal spikes in trees so that when the guys came to cut them, the spikes come flying out and hopefully hit them.
Christ on a bike.
Yeah, she actually took part in that. And she got confirmed, I think. Hold on.
Seriously?
Biden, BLM,
hold on, Bureau of Land Management. I need to look this up now.
Yeah, I'm gonna have it up here. Okay, I don't know what the newest
Bureau of Land Management.
Okay, he may have pulled it by now. I can't find anything for some reason.
Tracy Stone Manning?
Yeah, she's definitely, what's her acronym? TSM. Okay, that's nothing.
Oh, yeah.
Dronetek smokes the good shit.
It's quite literally on her Wikipedia page in 1989. And she was sentenced to 17 months in prison.
Yeah. How insane is that?
I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that would agree with me that if you do prison time, maybe you shouldn't be in any kind of form of federal government.
Is arguing that she herself drove spikes into trees. We have no evidence of that, and we do have evidence of the fact that she was part of a conspiracy that had that as its object. This wasn't a mild offense in which she conspired. This is a very significant offense. There are a lot of people who have been hurt, and there are a lot of people who have been killed through this kind of behavior. Back in 1987, there was a gentleman who worked in a sawmill. His name was George Alexander. He was 23 years old at the time. He wasn't wealthy. You don't get a spike in a tree.
Okay, here we go.
Hadn't become understood at the time. It became understood then what happens when you put a spike in a tree. Now, other people were not as fortunate as George Alexander. Other people have died. Other people have received
people were killed
worse injuries than he received. But he was those who might harvest subtle here in order to achieve.
Like, what is it with Biden? And like, there's not really any kind of media backlash. I think every one of these people has been some sort of an extremist. Like, one of them was a communist, like a outspoken communist.
I guess they're still trying to stick to the, well, it's Biden, he's a moderate kind of plan. Then let's shuffle in everybody that we actually want to have around him kind of deal. I know that sounds very incoherent, but think like Trojan horse. That's the thing I'm thinking of.
Right. Yeah. It seems to be there seems to be a lot of that. And this nominee seems like that too. Here, I'm going to play that one too.
19, you joined a Facebook group, a Marxist Facebook group, to discuss socialist and anti-capitalist views. Now, that's what I see from your record. And you have the right to believe every one of these things. You do. This is America. But I don't mean any disrespect. I don't know whether to call you professor or comrade.
Senator, I'm not a communist. I do not subscribe to that ideology. I could not choose
Does
where
anybody
I
buy
was
that?
born. I do not remember joining any Facebook group that subscribes to that ideology. I would never knowingly join any such group.
Yeah, right. She was part of
There
some
is
group.
no record of me ever actually participating in any Marxist or communist discussions of any kind. My family suffered under the communist regime.
I love Senator Kennedy.
I grew up
He's
without
hilarious.
knowing
That's the only
half
reason.
of my family. My grandmother herself escaped death twice.
Well, I'm actually not up to speed on this lady. I seem to remember that she was actually part, not just a Facebook group, like she has other ties to communist groups, which she was going to be a banking regulator. I think she got pulled out too.
Ooh. A communist as a banking regulator?
Right, yeah. Like, what?
That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, by the way, guys, any of you guys want to come chat with us? Anyone want to hear something cool? But yeah, if you guys want to come chat with us, come to my Discord. I'll bring you in on it.
Barracuda in the main chat wants him.
You can come chat with the real live Illumo. He's actually here with me right now.
Exclusive interview.
Yeah. Oh, Barracuda would like to get in. All right, Barracuda, 1 second. Yeah, if you guys are just showing up, you know I don't usually do live streams. I'm doing a live stream today just because we literally have like a horrible ice storm on its way in right now, followed by a blizzard, you know, up to 8 inches probably, which is a lot for this area of Ohio. And I don't know if I'm actually going to have electricity later. So rather than bank on that and not have a video done later, I'm going to do this for today, and tomorrow back to normal. Hopefully, if I have electricity. Yeah, you guys showing up probably missed our discussion about Whoopie. If you guys want to talk about it some more, we definitely can. That's why I'm kind of I'm scouring Twitter here right now because Salty Army is Legion. Man, you guys, I like Salty Cracker. Don't get me wrong. I see you guys everywhere. I wish I had some like Dronetek Army people out there. I'm jealous. What? I just noticed my live chat stream isn't working. Damn.
You just, oh yeah.
Yeah, I just now noticed that. I don't subscribe to the thing anymore. Maybe that's why. Anyway. Oh, okay. Hold on. All right. Here's something we can talk about. I'm gonna switch gears here a little bit. Time for some Jen Psaki action.
Oh God, not Chucky.
Well, it's also a CBS News reporter, and essentially this is a good example of why the White House press pool under a Democrat administration are just complete hacks.
Some Republican senators like Ted Cruz are criticizing Biden for saying he'll pick a black woman for the Supreme Court. He said it's quote-unquote offensive because somehow the black woman he chooses wouldn't be the most qualified for the job. But Republicans like Cruz also celebrated when Trump picked Amy Coney Barrett for the Supreme Court, with Cruz telling Barrett during her confirmation hearing, quote, "Your children have been wonderfully well behaved. I think you're an amazing role. Cruz are acting."
I read that exact quote yesterday. Glad lots of people are following it.
Good.
You know, I think that's
good. He said something we don't agree with, and this reporter, instead of keeping the people in power held accountable, we're going to deflect to criticism from a Republican, and we're gonna wring our hands about that.
It's really a question for Senator Cruz, but it is important to note, as you just did in your question, that there was never an objection by Senator Cruz to Donald Trump promising he'd nominate a woman in 2020. You noted what he said to the woman he nominated in the hearing and how he applauded her in the hearing. The notion, the president's view, is the notion that there has not been a black woman ever on the Supreme Court in 230 years is a problem with the process, not a lack of qualified, credentialed people to consider and nominate.
Actually, I don't buy that. So she's claiming racism. It's racism of the gaps. There hasn't been a black Supreme Court, female black Supreme Court justice, so it's obviously sexism and racism. I mean, and I love that they're pointing out the hypocrisy of Ted Cruz here. Well, for one, they're not comparable situations. In one case, he promised to appoint a woman, not a white woman, not a Asian woman. He just said a woman, which left the pool pretty open for any color. Biden promised a black woman, which excludes Asian women, it excludes Hispanic women, excludes white women, and so you're narrowing it down even more, which seems like something you would not want to do in such an important position as the Supreme Court. I mean, I mentioned in my video the other day, if you talk to a left-winger and you ask them, is it okay that we put somebody in the Supreme Court? We say we're just going to pick a black woman and it's going to be somebody. Is that okay? Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, diversity is our strength. Okay. But if you then ask the same people and if they would be for, instead of putting more black men into the NFL, if we put, some Asian men, some Hispanic men, some more white men to diversify it, no, you wouldn't want to do that. Well, why not? Because you want the best football players playing to give that team the best chance of winning. Oh, well, that makes sense. Which it's funny because what are they complaining about in the NFL? Not that there's too many white coaches. It's too many. There's too many whites in this, and we got to get the remaining whites out. But it's just funny that when it comes to a sport, they can see the importance of putting somebody that's best suited for the position rather than trying to meet some sort of, high-minded, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word I'm looking for, but, trying to achieve something that this diversity that really, it sounds good, but doesn't really in practice work all that great as far as diversity as skin color goes. But, but when it comes to the Supreme Court, we're gonna narrow the pool down to a group of people that's 6% of the country. 6% of the country. Maybe that has something to do with why there hasn't been a black female Supreme Court justice, because not many people in general get to serve as Supreme Court justices, right? It's very few people that actually qualify and can do that job. Very few people. So that actually makes more sense. And there actually have been 2 black justices, Thurgood Marshall and that's not his name. One second. Thurgood Marshall. I was right. Thurgood Marshall was the first one, and then he was succeeded by Clarence Thomas. And it's funny to me that they're trying to point out this hypocrisy of Ted Cruz for saying this. When what about their hypocrisy? When Trump picked Amy Coney Barrett, they piled on her. They said that she was a right-wing lunatic and treated her like she was some sort of a extremist monster. Like the whole media acted like that. That she was going to strike down Roe versus Wade and all this kind of stuff. They did the same with the other guy, Clarence Thomas. They did the same thing with him. Back then they had called him a rapist and they did all this stuff, and they've never stopped hounding him to this day. Now they say he's a race traitor. God, it's just it's so obnoxious listening to these people act. And it's even worse when it's a member of the supposed fourth estate, when all she's doing is serving up to a friendly press corps, to Psaki, who obviously is friendly and a fellow Democrat, serving up this question that just allows her to attack Republicans again, because there's not enough of that. We've had Democrats in power for a year now, and yet it seems all the media ever talks about is how horrible Republicans are. Which, hey, I'm not gonna sit here and say Republicans are awesome. I'm not a huge Republican fan per se, but Johnny Boy, can't be racism as there's black Supreme Court judge, can't be sexist as there's women Supreme Court judge. Yeah, exactly, man. They're just looking for any reason to cry racism. Their numbers are so crappy right now. They're gonna do so bad in the midterms. That's all they have, and they know it works. It does work. Way too many people fall for it, unfortunately. Dronetek Army is Legion. Yes. Dronetek Army is Legion. Hey, you guys should come hang out in Discord. Excuse me. Barracuda, I brought you in, man. Where are you there? We do have Barracuda who has come to join us. You're muted right now, bro. Yes, if you'd like to come and chat, I'm probably not going to stream that much longer here, but maybe another 15 minutes. If you guys want to come in and chat with me. I have appreciated everybody being here. We had a pretty good audience there for a while when I actually had something to talk about. I've kind of exhausted what I was going to talk about, so at this point, I'm just kind of chatting with you guys. Barracuda, you there? Hello.
Tune in, Barracuda. Tune in, Barracuda. They are muted.
He is muted, yes. Mary Trump pulling her podcast from Spotify. Oh yeah, I was supposed to talk about that some more too. Joe Rogan.
No, her.
What is that woman's? That's so funny. It's like, who did she have a podcast? Did people listen to that?
I think it's her, herself, and her. I don't know.
Donnie, I do this full time, bro. I've been doing it full time for about. We can hear chat. They're saying they can't hear you, but I don't know why they wouldn't be able to. Everything is working.
Yeah, no, I've just been quiet.
Talk again. Say something again. Illumo, say something.
Deep fried watermelon.
Perfect.
Perfect.
But yeah, Donnie, I've been doing this full time for 6 years now, and but I'm also a full-time stay-at-home dad, so I try to balance the two. It's basically having two full-time jobs essentially. That's why it's hard for me sometimes to do daily videos. I try my hardest to do daily. I really want to give you guys daily stuff, even if it's just a short. Mark B, yeah, you caught me live. It does not happen often. Does not happen often. I usually don't because I don't think I'm very good at it. I've never been very good at this. It takes planning, you know, and it's like if I'm working on a video, then I don't really have time for that, and I'm with the kids all day. I have 3 kids. Well, one of them is at school now, but the other 2 are younger. One's a baby, so You can imagine what my days are like trying to do that and then make a video on top of that. So somebody posted here, the ADL just minutes ago changed its definition of racism as a response to the Whoopie situation. Her claim that Hitler wasn't racist because racism is something whites do to blacks is founded in the critical theory definition of racism used by the ADL, now erased. So I was right. Earlier when I was trying to read you guys the new definition they put up, they got rid of it. Oh, that's hilarious.
They're like, oh, watch out. It's going the wrong way. No, not that way. No.
Right, it did not go. Well, it's like so obviously racist. It's like all you're doing is just like it's plain to see that that's what that whole thing is about anyway. You know, it's about just basically being able to use government to racially discriminate against whites in order to achieve some sort of so-called equity. This is why you don't hear anybody talking about equality anymore. It's all equity because they don't like equality. Equality. It's just, you got to do it on your own. Equity, you get the government to use its force to enforce the outcomes that you want based on race, which will come down to who's the most unpopular race. Okay, those people are going to be screwed.
I mean, to be honest, all that equity is trying to say, well, we kind of want communism, but we're not going to say it.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what they want. Dackard 40. Hi, Drone. You sound more relaxed live. Yeah, that's because I'm kind of trying to do a character, during the videos. Like, if you've ever seen Nostalgia Critic. If you've never seen Nostalgia Critic, go look him up. He's an epic. But I'm trying to kind of do something along those lines, or like angry video game nerd, but with politics. You sound more relaxed. That's just funny. That makes me laugh. Living Legend 3. I'll never forget when we were watching Rudy Giuliani speak and Dronetek was losing his shit when the hair dye was running. Oh my God, yes. That was crazy. Do you remember that, Illumo?
Yes, I do. I remember watching like the Twitter videos when he's just talking, so we're going to do this. And then like his hair is just melting.
Right. I know. I couldn't believe it. It reminded me so much of the movie The Fifth Element, where in the movie the bad guys, like, they have this this brown stuff start running down their heads, and they never explain what that is. But it totally and I didn't even really see anybody mention that. I think I might have tweeted that out. But yeah, that was wild. Good callback there, Living Legend. Whoopi thinks she's Jewish, says WPTX. Yeah, I was just talking about that. Apparently, and I don't know if this is true, but she apparently changed her religion right as she was moving into Hollywood to become an actress.
I mean, she changed her name.
And changed her name to Goldberg. Like, you talk about cultural appropriation. Like,
do you think you could get?
Right. It's like she has these stereotypical views of Jewish people, so she changed her name to Goldberg. So she converted to Judaism before going to Hollywood and changed her name to Goldberg. Like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, her original name is Karen Elaine Johnson. That's the most non-stereotypical name. But she's just like, I don't know why she's Richard Nixon, but question is, it's like, what's the most stereotypical Jewish last name that we could go for apart from like Bernstein? Goldberg.
Goldberg. My God, man. I had no idea. It never even like crossed my mind. Like that like her name and stuff. That had never even it did not penetrate my skull. I'd never even considered that she was Jewish or had converted or changed her name or any of that. Yeah, on the topic of CRT, I don't know if you guys have seen it. There's a really good. Do you guys know who James Lindsay is? He did he was on Rogan's podcast. He is a CRT genius. He did a debate with I can't remember who it is now. I'll look it up here. I highly recommend you watch it if you're interested in CRT. This guy knows his stuff. And if you want to know your stuff so you can, own the libs and debates, you got to check him out. Hold on, let me find it here for you.
Good Lord.
He's been on lots of stuff. Okay, here it is. It looks like he's debating with Let's Be Frank. Everybody here knows who Let's Be Frank is, I assume, or most of you guys. This guy looks like Let's Be Frank.
Hold on. Okay.
This guy.
Yeah, stream hasn't updated.
So yeah, I highly recommend you guys check this video out when you get a chance. Called Live Debate, CRT and Education with James Lindsay, Liberal Sanity Project, and Sean Fitzgerald. Very good, very informative. The pro CRT guys get completely demolished.
Eve Online.
Barbara McCormick says, all of you need to repeat grade school because from your comments, that's where your mentality is. What a crying shame. Well, what do you mean, Barbara? Why don't you come on and chat with me? Come on Discord and chat with me. Well, like when people make comments like that, I just want to know, like, be specific. What are you talking about? Like, what happened? Yeah, Let's Be Frank is awesome. I love that guy. Good guy.
Yeah, it's not like we're throwing low punches with any jokes. But then again, I have been reading some comments I can kind of see. But also at the same time, it's YouTube chat.
Yeah, exactly.
No
YouTube
offense, but it's just chat.
Yeah.
Stuff happens.
Yeah. All right, folks. Well, I think I'm going to wrap this up. Kind of run out of things to say. And okay, hold on. Brandon, I'm going to let Barracuda come in.
I got a bunch of stuff that you could make fun of.
Okay. I thought we could look at memes maybe. So in my Discord server, if you guys come to my Discord server, this is it. It's lots of fun. Barracuda, you there? Barracuda. I think maybe your mic output isn't correct yet. You go to your little gear icon down there. Go to voice and sound to make sure your output's correct. But yeah, guys, come if you're looking for memes, you want to laugh, come to my Discord server, go to the memes section, and we have lots of dedicated meme posters here, posting all kinds of hilarity. You know, get to the
you want a video of a guy in Ottawa going crazy over the trucks?
Oh yeah, the trucks in Canada. And Trudeau calling them racist and shit and white supremacists.
Yeah, I got a video of this.
They're stealing meals from homeless people.
Hold on, let me
Get to the choppa. Oh, that's good. Get to the choppa eye. Oh, I love it. Yes. Combining two of my favorite things.
Here, I'm just going to put this in main chat.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Good lord, you have too many pings.
I have too many what?
Pings.
Pings? What do you mean?
All the notifications.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. You should turn those off. This one's good. This is a cool movie. Everyone, this is a cool movie. They're desensitizing people with predictive programming. Did you see that? Freemason and Illuminati symbolism. Pedophile. Look, a subliminal message. That's not a woman, that's a man. That's totally... Well, that's not so much me watching a movie. I'm more like a Mystery Science Theater riffing guy, so I'll sit there and riff on the movie the whole time.
Same.
Yeah, that's pretty... My wife will get so annoyed. She'll be like, you have to commentate on everything. It's like, yep.
Absolutely. Now I know why nobody likes to watch movies with me.
All right. I think I am going to go ahead and wrap this up, actually, for now. I might do another one tonight. This was actually kind of fun, and we'd have more people in the evening. So I might go ahead and just try and do this again this evening. That's the way I usually do it. The thumbnail for this stream I usually use in the evenings. That's why there's people like drinking on it. But yeah, maybe check back later, guys, and I might do another stream. If you want to continue the conversation and hang out with some people, some cool people, come on over to my Discord. We also play video games here. We play Fortnite, we play PUBG, we play VR games, we play DayZ and Rust. All kinds of stuff. So if you want to come hang out with us. Sorry, I had White Castle for lunch, so I'm like burping now all of a sudden.
White Castle will do that to you.
Yeah, I'm like burping every few seconds now. Yeah, thanks, guys. This is the first stream I've done probably in a while, 3 months or maybe more. So it was a good time. This was actually one of the more enjoyable live streams I have done, actually. So maybe we'll do another one here very soon. Thanks a lot. Hit me up in Discord again. It's in the description, and it will be in the pinned comment. I'll see you all later.